हरि जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यामुनतीरावनचार्य यामुनतीरावनचार्य जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यामुनतीरावनचार्य यामुनतीरावनचार्य जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजक आचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की। So, Canto 9, Chapter 14, entitled King Pururava, enchanted by Urvashi. Text. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, reading from Canto 9, Chapter 14, entitled with King Pururava, enchanted by Urvashi. Text 21. Please repeat. Etau उपकणौ उरणकौ राजन् न्यासौ न्यासौ रक्षस्व मानद संरम्ये भवता साकं श्लाघ्यः स्त्रीणां वरः स्मृतः एतौ रणकौराजन् न्यासौ रक्षस्व मानद संरप्स्ये भवता साकं श्लाघस्त्रीणां वरस्मृतः एतौ रणकौराजन् न्यासौ रक्षस्व मानद संरस्ये भवता शाकं श्लाघ्य स्त्रीणां वरं स्मृतः एतौ रणकौराजन् न्यासौ रक्षस्व मानद संरस्ये भवता साकं श्लाघ्य स्त्रीणां वरस्मृतः एतावुरणकौराजन् न्यासौ रक्षस्व मानद संरस्ये भवता साकं श्लाघ्य स्त्रीणां वरस्मृतः एतावुरणकौरा एतावुरणकौरा साकं एतौ to these two Uranakau lamps Rajan, O King Pururava, Nyasau, who have fallen down, Rakshasva, please give protection, Manada, O one who gives all honor to a guest or visitor, Samrasye, I shall enjoy sexual union, Bhavata, Sakam, in your company, Shlaghyah, superior, Strinam, of a woman, Varaha, husband, Smritaha, it is said. Translation and commentary by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of his International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So, translation. My dear King Pururava, please give protection to these two lambs who have fallen down with me. Although I belong to the heavenly planets and you belong to the earth, I shall certainly enjoy sexual union with you. I have no objection to accepting you as my husband, for you are superior in every respect. Purport. As stated in Brahma Samhita 5.40, यस्य प्रभा प्रभवतो जगदण्ड कोटि कोटिश्वशेष वसुधाति विभूति भिन्नम. There are various planets and various atmospheres. Within this universe, the atmospheres of heavenly planet from which Urvashi descended after being cursed by Mitra and Varuna was different from the atmosphere of this earth. Indeed, the inhabitants of heavenly planet are certainly far superior to the inhabitants of earth. Nonetheless, Urvashi agreed to remain the consort of Pururava, although she belonged to a superior community. A woman who finds a man with superior qualities may accept such a man as her husband. Similarly, if a man finds a woman who is from an inferior family but who has good qualities, he can accept such a brilliant wife. As advised by Sri Chanakya Pandit, Sri Ratnam Dushkaladapi. The combination of male and female is worthwhile if the qualities of both are on the equal level. Om Ajnana Tibira. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikasa Swamini Namine. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rukavatamayam Dadati Swapadam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Tapadakalama Shri Gurun Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam. एतौरणकौराजन्यासौ रक्षस्व मानद संरस्ये भवता साकं श्लाघ्यस्त्रीणां वरस्मृतः. Translation. My dear King Pururava, please give protection to these two lambs who have fallen down with me. Although I belong to the heavenly planets and you belong to earth, I shall certainly enjoy the sexual union with you. I have no objection to accepting you as my husband, for you are superior in every respect. Hare Krishna. So, here we see about the story of King Pururava, how he was enchanted by Urvashi. As we can see, means this attraction between male and female is everywhere. Even if you go to the lower planets or this middle planets such as Earth or heavenly planets, everywhere you will find this attraction between male and female. But one should try to stop this attraction. Means one should try to come to the higher level, and one should engage in penance and austerity, because as we heard in this Maharaj Rishabdev's teaching to his son, he tells that this enjoyment is hellish enjoyment. It is available even to the hogs and dogs, those who are eating stools. So, what is the difference between hogs and dogs and human beings like us? They have got superior intelligence. So they should not engage in all such nonsense activities. As we see in Hitopadesh, there is one shloka. Ahara nidra bhayamaithunam cha samanyam etat pashubhir naranam. Dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesho dharmena hina pashubhi samana. So this eating, mating, defending and sleeping, these are four common activities between animals and humans. So what is that humans being superior to animals? What are their activities as they are superior? But as we find here, that they should engage in penance and austerity, so that they can know about the spiritual life, and they can attain spiritual life, and they can become freed from this material entanglement. So here we see in material world the example of people who are working very hard day and night. Just we can see in the life of any materialistic person, from morning to night he is working. His day goes in working and earning for money and purchasing things from family, for family, and maintaining the family. And night time goes in sleeping, having sex life and drinking. So this is their life. But human life is not meant for that. Human life, they have special intelligence, so they should accept voluntary hardships, like we say voluntary difficulties we should accept, means like we are doing here, attending morning program Mangala Aarti, chanting and associating with devotees, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from them. So our human life is meant for especially that. We can see this voluntary suffering. It is means by accepting voluntary sufferings, one can one can elevate himself to the spiritual planets. Like, but suffering is there for animals also, but their suffering is due to their means karma, reactions of their sinful activities. That is their suffering. But human life also we have such sufferings, but we should voluntarily accept some sufferings so that we can attain the divine or spiritual world, and we can attain the devotional service of the Lord. So for that one should follow the rules and regulations mentioned in the scriptures. One should accept bona fide spiritual master and follow him. So these are all like voluntary austerities. For if living suffers. Otherwise, being in material world, engage in this all eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. We are just constantly going perpetually this birth after birth, birth and death, and same janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi. So human life is not meant for that. Here we see in King Pururava, the Urvashi tells to Pururava, I shall certainly accept you as my husband because you are, means, even though you are from earthly planets, but you are like, means you are elevated. So, like King Pururava, he was not a ordinary mortal being. If you, if you see King Pururava, he was the emperor of whole world. So, therefore, he was the emperor of whole world. So therefore, Urvashi, the Apsara from heavenly planet, she decided to accept him as her husband. But human level. So material in material life, there are definitely some hardships are there, but a man has spiritual knowledge, means with higher knowledge, he should not engage in that, but he should accept voluntary sufferings so that he will make him eligible to attain the devotional service, and thus gradually he can elevate himself from the clutches of material entanglement, and he can attain the spiritual world. Here, as we can say, there are nowadays so many modern scientists, and they are telling, like for example Dr. Sigmund Freud, he told that sex life is very necessary for human life. Just like eating, sleeping and defending are necessary, sex life is also very necessary for human life. So one should not by artificial means try to stop that. If one tries to stop that, he will become, means he will become mental, he will have psycho problems. But they don't know that devotees, they by giving higher test, they can reject all those things. Just like we can see devotees eating, sleeping and everything, it is only for the pleasure of Krishna, and whatever they are doing, just it is for the satisfaction of Krishna. Just like we can see devotees take prasadam, that is also like eating, but it is completely different from modern people what they are eating. Devotees eat just for the maintenance of the body, and this cooked with love and devotion, and they offer to the Lord, and just as a prasadam they take. And for sleeping, they just sleep so that body can be healthy, so that they can engage themselves in again in the service of the Lord. So similarly for sex life, it is not necessary. A devotee may accept sex life also, but it should be purpose should be only for Krishna consciousness. He can uh, produce children as many he want, but he should make all of them devotees. So as we see in Bhagavad Gita, Lord tells, Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishva nivartate. Devotees, by their higher taste, they can easily give up all these lower tendencies, lower enjoyment, which is available even to hogs and dogs. Just like you can find in the life of dog, full day working hard just for little grass and sex. He is working hard and beaten by his master. But at the end of day, he goes to sleep and have little sex life, that also again and again beaten by the opposite sex. So this is their life. So human life should not be meant for that. In Bhagavad Gita it is said, this is the happiness in the mode of passion. You see, it appears very like nectarian, like nectar in beginning, but afterwards it is like a very poisonous, it becomes very poisonous. So therefore, material happiness derived from combination of senses and sense objects is always source of distress. So therefore should be avoided by all the means. As we can see, devotees, how they are different from even demigods and devotees, we can see difference between them. As we can see, Prabhupada several times gives the example of Haridas Thakur. Because he was devotee of Lord, he was always engaged in chanting and hearing the names of the Lord. He easily gave up the material attachments. So once, means in the time of Haridas Thakur, there was a one king. He was envious of him. So, seeing this, he sent one Vaishya, or you can say prostitute, to disturb his sadhana or regular chanting and hearing of the names of the Lord. But Haridas Thakur said, "You wait for me. I have certain rounds to finish. So after finishing this, I will fulfill your desire. So you please sit here and hear." So like that, one day went. Then, but Haridas Thakur was continuously chanting without stop. She was sitting, being tired. Again, she approached. No, no. Till now, my sadhana is not over. You please wait. I will fulfill your desires. But you please wait. So like that, continuously 3 days and nights, it was going on. And Haridas Thakur, he was chanting continuously. But after 3 days, by hearing the holy name of Lord, that prostitute also became devotee, and then she surrendered to Haridas Thakur, and she accepted him as a spiritual master. Then she asked, "Now what shall I do? How I should do?" So then Haridas Thakur advised, "Okay, whatever you have earned by this illegal way or whatever, that distribute to Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, and surrender your life to Lord Krishna and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra." So similarly, we can find in the example of Yamunacharya. He says, "Yadavadi mama cheta Krishna padara vinde navanava rasadhamani udyatam rantumasid." Means when I am engaged in the devotional service to Lord Krishna, so I feel means transcendental pleasure from that. So when that time, sometime if I remember Tadvadi Patanari Sangames Maria Mane, if I remember about the association associating with women and other material things, I just split at that. Means because devotees have a higher interest, so they are not at all interested in these lower things. So we can find, but we can see here in the life of demigods, as we saw, Chandra or moon god, he was attracted to the wife of Brihaspati. He was spiritual master, and he was like that. But devotees, simply by engage in devotional service, they can easily give up. Srila Prabhupada often gives this example. We can see this young boy who is in Krishna consciousness movement, not very much educated in university and all, but he can easily give up eating, mating, sleeping, and defending. Means it like this means in illegal way or whatever, which is not, which is different from Krishna, he can give up. But the university students who are well studied, but they are often, if because of lack of Krishna consciousness, they are woman hunters, they take drugs, intoxications, they meat eating and gambling, they break all the rules and regulations of the shastras. So this is the difference between Krishna consciousness or and non-Krishna consciousness. Means those who are devotee, they can easily give up because they have the higher taste, superior taste of bhakti or devotional service. But someone can ask, so that what sex life, it should not be done at all, or how we should do? But no, it's not like that. In Vedic period also we can see sex life was there, but it should be regulated according to rules and regulations of the shastras. So as we see for means sex life, it is said in Bhagavad Gita, Dharma viruddha bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshava. I am the kama which is not according to the dharma. So means according to dharma means one should be engaged in sex life only with his wife, and no one else. He can engage in sex life only with his wife. That also only for propagating children, and that also he should have responsibility to make them Krishna consciousness. As we can find Rishabh Dev, he tells in the Rishabdev instruct his sons, as we can see in the Bhagavatam. Guru na sasyat, swajano na sasyat, pita na sasyat, janani na sasyat. Means one should not become a spiritual master or a relative or father or mother. If he is not able to take their disciples or their inferiors to the supreme goal, or they cannot make themselves free from the clutches of this material entanglement, like birth and death, repeated birth and death. So they gradually go on repeated birth and death. But one can accept them only if he is able to give them ultimate benefit or free from this material entanglement. He says further that those who are interested in such activities, who associate with people of woman, people like means woman, or those who are associating women's, so their path is means open for hell. They will go to hell definitely. So their association is means very important. We can see in the Bhagavatam, Hiranyakashipu telling to Prahlad Maharaj that once how much importance is association, that one should associate only with devotees. And sorry, Hiranyakashipu tells, but definitely we should not take in that way. Hiranyakashipu is telling him to not to associate with devotees, but we can take the teachings from that and we can imply in our life, like we should not take association of these people like women and who are so much fond of women and sex and this. So definitely that will lead them to hellish life and repeated birth and death. We can see this human life, it is just like a junction. So in junction, if we see on the railway station, we go junction, we can go anywhere wherever we want. So similarly, human life is a junction. We can go to hell also, or we can go to heaven, or we can go to the supreme abode of Lord also. So that from there, no again coming to this material world and become free from all material contaminations. And we can see this how this sense enjoyment or mentality of being means mentality of sense enjoyment, it is that it makes a man to continuously means engage in all kinds of sinful activities. So therefore one should not take such sinful activities. As we are seeing about the Vedic vidhi of sex life or marriage life, it should be done in marriage life only. So Srila Prabhupada was telling about that sex life to disciples. So once he was telling that Dvijas, or who are twice born, like Brahmanas, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, they are called as twice born, who has accepted Upanayan from spiritual master. So they should engage themselves, means they will engage themselves only monthly once with their wife for sexual union. Otherwise, they will not engage themselves. So once disciples told that then monthly once it is very difficult to control for 1 month. Then some disciples told then better to leave that, because they were from hippie culture and for them it is like daily activities, this sex life and then drinking and taking drugs and all. So they told better to leave that. But Srila Prabhupada told, no, it should be done only once in month. That also after this contamination period is over, and they can engage themselves one time. And that also only for sake of producing children's. Then one more, we can see children's. Then what is here importance of children's? So that children in Vedic Vidhi, it was being means produced for like putra. It is called as putra. The definition of putra is Purnama Naraka Trayate iti putraha. That they will free oneself from the hellish planet named Pu. So for that purpose, that putra was means done. So that's why you can see in Vedic times there Shraddha and all the ceremonies are there. So that a son will be there, so that he will do Shraddha ceremony, so that it will go to his forefathers, and thus they can become freed from the uh, hellish planets. And we can see nowadays also devotees, they do sometimes Shraddha ceremony, like but Shraddha ceremony we don't follow all this karma kandya vidhi, but we can offer foodstuffs to Lord Vishnu, offer him, and afterwards we can give to our forefathers, or we can put for them. So this is the like Shastra Vidhi. And one more place Srila Prabhupada tells about this following Manu Samhita and doing Karma Kandya Vidhi. So he tells about that this once the devotees were asking that shall we translate Manu Samhita into English so that we can follow rules and regulations. But Srila Prabhupada told that is not useful, that is useless, don't translate. According to Manu Samhita, you people are mlechas and yavanas. So you should not translate that. If you should not even touch that Manu Samhita, so what to speak about translating it? And if you translate Manu Samhita and try to follow, then according to Manu Samhita, you become lechas and yavanas. Then your career is finished. You cannot do anything. So, for that Prabhupada suggested, but devotees in Krishna consciousness movement, they should simply chant 50 rounds before engaging themselves or before conceiving the child. They should just simply chant 50 rounds so that their consciousness will be purified, and so that gradually means so that the child born, he will have good qualities and he can become devotee, and then they should train him to become a devotee here from read shastras like Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita and all. So so here means as we saw this, so Srila Prabhupada is condemning Manu Samhita. Means in one sense he is not condemning, but he is telling now in Kali Yuga, as we see, everyone is a Shudra. So for us, it is not proper to follow that. We cannot follow that. So simply by engaging Krishna consciousness and engaging ourselves in devotional service, and simply one should chant just 50 rounds, and he can engage for propagating good children's Krishna consciousness children's. So we can see in Srimad Bhagavatam also this there it is given Devarshi Bhutapta Nrinam Pitrinam. So in this shloka we find means Devarshi Bhutapta Nrinam Pitrinam na kinkaro nayam rini cha rajan sarvatmanayas sharanam sharanyam gato mukundam parihritya karta. Just by surrendering to the Mukunda, he becomes free from all kinds of debt he has. Like he has 5 kinds of debt: Deva, Rishi, Bhuta, Apta, Nrina and so Pitri. So these are five kinds of depths. So that just by accepting this devotional service, he can easily become free from the all kinds of depth. So no need to follow means separately this Shraddha ceremony and all. Just devotional service, engage in devotional service, that is sufficient. But one should not misuse of this, like one can say, no, I am engaged in devotional service, so no need to follow all these rules and regulations, and I am free from all debts. So one can take so many loans and debt from someone, then tell, no, no, I will not follow this, or I will not just pay back, because I am engaged in devotional service, I should become free from this, like that people say. But no, first they should surrender whatever they have themselves, then after they can think of that. But first they will not surrender themselves, they will have so many things for themselves, but they will say like this, in the name of means misusing devotional service, name of devotional service, they will do like that. But just before that, they themselves should surrender everything whatever they have, then they can think of that. And here we can find in the purport, means Srila Prabhupada telling about the uh, means heavenly planets. So it is like completely on the different atmosphere, or like we can say it is completely different from the earthly planet. Like we can say we sometimes go for picnic. So in picnic, we can go for some time till the time we have money in our pocket. But when money is finished, so we have to come back again to our place, and again we have to earn same thing, and again we can think of going. But one cannot live for long. As soon as his money is finished, he has to come back. So similarly, these are heavenly planets. They are also kind of picnic only. So one can earn pious credit in the earthly planets. Then after that, he can go there and enjoy for some time. But again, he has to come back to this earthly planets, because he cannot enjoy for long time. As soon as his pious credits are finished, he is kicked out from there. So we can see, means so that, like as we see, Devarshi Bhutaptan Rinam Pitrinam. So there is also a debt for demigods, because demigods are providing us, like for sun god, he is providing us sunlight, heat, and without sun, no one can sustain on the world. And if we see moon god, he is providing us all the vegetations and everything. So it is very important, means human being is also debt to demigods. So he has to pay debts to demigods also. But if one simply engage in devotional service, he is surpassed from all debts. But someone can think, no, if I worship this demigod, I will get these things, good wealth, this, that. But Lord tells in Bhagavad Gita that is simply avidhi purvakam. Although demigods are in charge by Supreme Lord only for various various things, but if one worship demigods, they are also part and parcel of Supreme Lord. So in one sense, he is worshipping the Supreme Lord himself. But if that is called avidhi purvakam. Like if one wants some loan, he goes to bank and he tells a clerk that I want loan this and that. But that is useless. What clerk will know about that? If he wants loan, he should go to manager and he should approach him. So similarly, this demigod worship, Lord condemns in Bhagavad Gita. It is avidhi purvakam. That should not be followed. Or just like Prabhupada several times gives example of watering the fruits and flowers and branches, everything. One will water all the leaves and everything nicely, but if one is not watering to the root, everything is useless, and he cannot satisfy the tree, and tree will die after some time. So similarly, if one wants to satisfy everyone, he should put, means he should give water to roots, so that he can satisfy all the trees, all the leaves individually, all the flowers and everything. So similarly, if one just simply uh, performs devotional service to Lord, he can, means satisfy everyone. But if he thinks that no, I will individually try to satisfy different demigods, so that I will get this things, material things, and so many things, so it is useless. because he cannot satisfy everyone. There are so many demigods, and if he forgets someone, someone can become angry and this that. So he will have problems in his life. So one should not accept this path, but one should simply surrender to the Lord, so that he can easily give up such things. Then we find in Bhagavad Gita that some people, they who study Vedas, they drink so much juica, and they're thinking that we will go to heavenly planets by doing pious activities, and thus gradually they become free from sinful life. But they earn so much pious credit, so they go to there and they think that we will enjoy their heavenly planets, drinking somarasa and so many apsaras there, and we can go to Nandanakana here and there. We can enjoy in that way, but that is not possible. Means that is temporary happiness. We can see in Bhagavad Gita it is said, just tetam bhuktva svargalokam vishalam kshine punya martya lokam vishanti. When their pious credit is finished, again they have to come back to material world. Then again they will go to hellish planets also. Then again they will perform pious credits. So in one sense, means Bhagavad Gita itself, Abrahma bhuvanaloka punaravartina arjuna. So wherever one goes in this world, even if he becomes Brahma, he has to die one day. Then again he has to come to this material world, and again he has to perform pious credits and this all. But if we see to become Brahma, it is not a simple thing, but it's very difficult. And when one becomes Brahma, for long time he can enjoy the he and he can think himself is the most superior in the universe, and means creator of the world, and such and such. So he can think that I am enjoying, but that is also one day is going to finish. So this one should not aspire for such material things. Even if one become Brahma or he becomes ant, it is same only. After some time, he has to again come to this repeated birth and death. But only by surrendering to Supreme Lord, engaging in devotional service, one can come out of this entanglement, and he can go to the Supreme Lord of, means supreme abode of Lord Shri Krishna. So in Bhagavad Gita, means there is several places mentioned about this demigod worships, as we can see this one uh, this kamaistesya ritagyana prapadyantena devata. Those people, because of their kama, or they want material enjoyment, so those foolish people, they go and worship different demigods, thinking that their results will be fulfilled. But all demigods are temporary. Their benefits, means their benedictions, are also temporary, and what we will get positioned by that, that is also temporary. So everything is temporary. So the intelligent person or sane man should not aspire for such temporary things. Yes, then it is further mentioned that one who is intelligent, he should worship the Supreme Lord, even whatever desire he has, like akama, sarvakama va moksha kama udaradi. Even if he has no desire, or he has desire of liberation, or he wants liberation free from this material entanglement, or he has material desires, sarvakama, he want to satisfy his senses, and he has so many material senses, then also he should worship the Supreme Lord. Kama sarvakama va moksha kama udharati tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusha param. So, by surrendering to Supreme Lord, performing devotional service, one can become easily free from this material entanglement, and one can go to the spiritual abode, so that one does not have to come back again. So we can see here example of Dhruva Maharaj. He had the material desire. He wanted a kingdom even bigger than that of his father, because he was angry with his father that his father didn't allow him to sit on his lap because of his stepmother, and his stepmother said, no, if you want kingdom, you should take birth from me. He just small boy, 5 years old, but he got so much insulted. So he thought, no, I will take a greater kingdom than that. So he went to mother, but mother was a devotee of Lord. So she advised that you go to worship. I have heard that people say in the forest they get the Lord, means they can meet Supreme Lord. Then you can ask any whatever benediction you want from the Lord. Because I have seen so many rishis and all, they go to the forest and they do means austerities there. So that 5 years old boy, Dhruv Maharaj, he decided, okay, I want greater kingdom than that of my father or my brother. So I will go and do austerities there. So when he was going, so that time Narad Muni came in the way. He told, hey, don't go to forest. It is very dangerous. If you go to the forest, there will be so many animals and so many things, so many dangers will be there. No one will be there to protect. But how you will live? You are 5 years old boy. This is for means this life is for playing and that enjoying. So you go and play. Now you are 5 years old boy. Don't do all these things. He told, no, my determination is fixed. I have to get bigger kingdom than that of my father. So I will go and worship Supreme Lord. So he will become pleased and he will give me such benedictions. So Narad Muni thought, yeah, his determination is fixed. So shall I, means I will teach him about the Supreme Lord so that he can worship Supreme Lord. So he will give, means he will tell, okay, I will give you one mantra. You chant that mantra so that you can means worship and you can please the Supreme Lord. That is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So you go to the forest, meditate on the Lord and chant this mantra. He said, okay. Then he performed severe austerities. Then after some time, Lord was within 6 months. Lord was pleased by him, which is not possible even by great rishis or sages and demigods to please the Lord. But he did in 6 months because of his determination. Then after that, he was able to see Lord within himself. Then when Lord appeared, he just became like silent. Now, what to speak? I was thinking for this material enjoyment and material things, but now I have got the Supreme Lord. Why shall I ask in front of him this material enjoyment? It is just like a piece of a, how you will say, piece of a mirror. Yeah, like piece of a broken glass. I have now got the Supreme Personality of Godhead, like it is a valuable jewel, and I am asking from him that I want some broken glasses. It is just like that. So he told, no, I don't have now any material desire. I got you as a Supreme Lord. So in this case, we can see this. He was having means sarva kama. He was thinking for so many material enjoyments and material things. But just by surrendering to Supreme Lord, even though he got those material things also, but his consciousness was purified. And even if some means bad things are there in devotees, it will be purified in the association of Lord. Means like we can see he wanted to enjoy the material kingdom and he wanted to show that I have now bigger kingdom than you, means his brother and his father. But just by surrendering to Supreme Lord, he got the greater kingdom, even greater than his grandfather, Lord Brahma. But he was also become purified from all his sinful reactions and he became pure devotee of the Lord. So for whatever reason, if you have material desire or if you have no desires or if you want liberation, you should just approach the Supreme Lord. So your all desires will be fulfilled. But we can see these foolish materialistic people, they are less intelligent. They are condemned in Bhagavad Gita. But they don't even means Lord tells in Bhagavad Gita that I only give them faith so that they can worship particular demigod. And so by particular endowed with such kind of faith, they go and worship particular demigod, and they get their means their desires are also fulfilled. But they are temporary, but and they don't know that whatever desires are fulfilled, that is also actually done by Lord himself only. It is not by means demigods. They are just like officers of the Lord. So finally it has to be signed by Lord, then only they can give. Otherwise demigods have no rights to give anything. But by the Lord only it is provided. But foolish people, means dull intelligent people, so they worship different demigods thinking their life means thinking that their desires are fulfilled, and they perpetually go on worshipping. And thus they worship different demigods and they think that they will become happy, prosperous in their life and they will achieve these things, or maybe they will go to heavenly planets. But there also they cannot enjoy for long. One after that they have to return to this material world only. So same thing we can see in the life of Pururava also. How he was enchanted by the Urvashi, because he was bewildered by lust, and thus he was enchanted and he was engaged. But as we can see in Vedic Vidhi also, that is allowed, it is not prohibited. But here we can see that Urvashi told to Mitra that because you are superior to me in every respect, I am accepting you as my husband. So it was done according to that, that in Vedic life also means people will see that, oh, that girl should be from lower family and boy should be from higher family, or varnashram vidhi, the marriages will be happen between Brahman boy and Brahman girl, or Kshatriya boy Kshatriya girl, and Vaishya boy Vaishya girl, and Shudra boy Shudra girl, like that marriages will happen. And sometimes it may happen like that Brahmana boy may accept girl from lower family also, as we see here. Chanakya Pandit says, Stri Ratnam Dushkaladapi. So if she has nice qualities, he can accept from lower family also. So this is called Anuloma, means kind of Vivaha Vidhi. This is like it is done in Vedas according to the Vedic principles. But nowadays, modern society, we find they don't see any caste, anything. They just see that money is there, so that they go and they just approach someone and they have relationship for some time, and afterwards they have divorce and this that. Then after again they will go and find someone else. So this is nowadays happening in this modern education. This is due to this modern education. This is making the man means fool. So okay, that's what I. So if any questions, anything you can ask, comment, mistakes. Okay, so you don't have any questions or anything. So today is the appearance day of Gadadhar Pandit. So I will just 5 or 10 minutes speak something about Gadadhar Pandit. So here, Gadadhar Pandit, he was a close associate of Lord Chaitanya. As we see, he is one of the Panchatattva, Sri Chaitanya, Nityanand Prabhu, then Advaita Acharya, Gadadhar Pandit, and Srivas Thakur. So he is one of the close associate of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he is means close associate from childhood. From childhood, Nimai and Gadadhar Pandit. His name was previously Madhav Mishra, and they both were good friends from childhood only. And their mothers were also, Shachi Mata was considering his mother as sister only, and they both were like relatives only, very close to each other. And in various Acharya's commentaries, we find that Gadadhar Pandit, he is non-different from Lord. He is non-different from the energy of the Lord or Radharani, who is the daughter of Rishabhanu in Vrindavan. Same, he appeared here as a Gadadhar Pandit to assist the Lord. And we can see some of the pastimes of Gadadhar Pandit. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Gadadhar Pandit, they even studied in same school. So that time Gadadhar Pandit from childhood, he was very calm, quiet, and he was not mingling with other people very much. But Nimai, he was joking and means with everyone and speaking so many things. So sometimes Gadadhar Pandit, he will be little far from Nimai Pandit, and he will not speak much. But that time Nimai or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu means he used to say that don't worry, one day I will also become such a great Vaishnava that even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, they will come at means my doors and they will see me. So don't worry, that day is near only. I will become such a great Vaishnava. So like that he used to joke with Gadadhar Pandit. Then once we can see Gadadhar Pandit, he gave some pan for eating to means to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu means he was already in sannyasa order. So that time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, no, where is Krishna? I want Krishna. You give me Krishna. So that time Gadadhar Pandit told, no, Krishna is within your heart only. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started scratching his heart, means trying to get out his heart and find where is Krishna. He wanted to see Krishna. Then Gadadhar Pandit told, don't worry, he will come very soon. So that time Shachi Mata was seeing and she was listening. So she told later to Gadadhar Pandit, you are means very dear to this Chaitanya, and you always be with him. So I am freed from all the worry. Otherwise, sometimes, anytime he can do any crazy things. So you always be with him and always assist him. So like that, Shasi Mata told to means Gadadhar Pandit. Then we can have question that means like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is the form of means combined form of Radha and Krishna. So why there is a why Gadadhar Pandit he also came separately, but actually we can see Gadadhar Pandit he is also a form of Radha, and Lord Chaitanya he is a Krishna with a sentiment of Radha, and he that where is Krishna, and he is always searching that where is Krishna. So Gadadhar Pandit as a Radharani he also came in this material world to assist in his pastimes and to assist him in searching for Krishna. So these are the some of the pastimes of Gadadhar Pandit and something. That's it. Hare Krishna. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.